the Spurs make a sneaky good signing as they sign Rashard Lewis, former NBA champion, to be their player development coach. And it's all clear now. ESPN comes out with an article talking about swing stats and how the Spurs have one specific thing they could do that could either turn their tides for good or for bad for this upcoming season. And we are going to discuss all of it here on Spurs Digest with your host, Keenan Warner. And if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys take a spur of the moment to get every Spurs moment by hitting that free subscribe button so you don't miss all the great content that me, Josh, and Brian have coming for you, coming to you daily on Spurs news. I understand it's the slog, it's August, but there are still things to talk about, and we're going to be here to talk about all of them. But let's get into it. The Spurs have hired Rashard Lewis as a player development coach for the San Antonio Spurs. A nice hire. I like this hire a lot. I mean, you already see here working with Carter Bryant, and Carter Bryant is going to be a guy that I think that Rashard Lewis could really do wonders for as a player development coach. They have similar builds. Rashard Lewis doesn't have the athleticism that Carter Bryant has, but he does understand how to be the 3 or the 4th option on a starting 5 on a championship caliber team, as he did go to the finals in 2008-2009 with the Orlando Magic. I mean, overall, if we look at this here, 15 points a game, 5 rebounds, but the thing that I really want to pay attention to, that 39% from the three-point arc, he really could shoot it. 6'10", 215, long arms. He could play. Defense was not his specialty, but it's something that he definitely could do for sure. He was a good defender. And then offensively, he really could shoot it. Alongside Dwight Howard, Jameer Nelson, Hedo Turkoglu, that 09 Magic's team was a really nice team. They just ran into one of the best Kobe Bryants in that Lakers team in the NBA Finals that year, and were not able to get by that. But Rashard Lewis is someone that Carter Bryant specifically could learn from. Obviously, he's going to help out a lot of players, but just the way Carter Bryant, the way his role is going to be on this roster, which is why I like this picture so much, and what his foresight, what you see from Carter Bryant, I think he could take a lot from Rashard Lewis, just because, okay, I'm not going to have the ball here, I'm not going to have the ball here, let me work on my spacing, let me work on when to cut, how to cut, what should I do here, what should I do there, when should I insert myself as the number 1 kind of option on that play, on that possession, how to kind of detail offensively, and I think Rashard Lewis could do a lot for that. And just to touch up on that shooting stroke for Carter Bryant, he did shoot well in college, but it was on a smaller sample size, and it was on a smaller shot chart and shot count. And so Rashard Lewis can definitely touch up some of those mechanics from Carter Bryant as well. I know Rashard Lewis didn't have the prettiest of shots, but hey, if you're making 3-point shots in the NBA at a 39% clip, I think you know a little bit something about shooting. So shout out to Rashard Lewis. I like that a lot for the San Antonio Spurs. But ESPN also did talk about the swing stat that could make every NBA team go one way or another. The one stat that could swing everything for the San Antonio Spurs. It is for the San Antonio Spurs, but ESPN did this about the entire NBA. The NBA offseason obviously slowly starting to rumble into gear, and I mean, we've got through the draft, we've got through free agency, we're getting through this slog where we're just waiting, we're just seeing people get in the gym, getting their workouts, we're seeing that's that prime Hoodie Mellow time that we're waiting right now. We're just hopeful. Eurobasket's going to be around the corner, and then we're going to have training camps, and we're going to see preseason games, and we're going to get excited. So they took 30 teams. They went through all of them and what they needed to possibly, interesting things that they could swing for swing stats, sorry. And 30.4. Interesting. When I before I read the article, I was thinking to myself, what could 34.4 really be? Like, what is that? And it makes sense once you get to it. So let's get into it. The most important development for the San Antonio Spurs is just how Wemby's doing. How the return is, making sure, are you okay? There's not going to be any lingering effects from the deep vein thrombosis. Like, we're going to be good. That's there. Remains healthy. All NBA first team perennially. Defensive Player of the Year perennially. MVP contender perennially. We know that. That's just check on the box. But the second most important thing in the development is obviously how these guards mesh. More importantly, more specifically, De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, and Stephon Castle. Obviously, Devin Vassell, the guard forward, he matters to this, but he is not obviously as important as these other three. And as a group last year, De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, and Dylan Harper made just 30.4% of their three-point attempts last season. Harper, this is including his collegiate time at Rutgers. So you had Fox at 31%, you had Castle at 28.5%, you had Harper at 33.3%. Not great. And obviously this is something that we have talked about a lot. But if the Spurs are going to be able to take that next step, if the Spurs are going to be able to get to the second, the third round of the playoffs, De'Aaron Fox is going to have to get back to that 35% shooting from the three-point line. Stephon Castle is going to have to get around league average, which is around 36%. Dylan Harper is going to have to showcase why he has good shooting touch, he has good shooting mechanics, and he can shoot free throws pretty well. I think it was around 75, 76%. That's got to even get into the 80s, and Dylan Harper is going to have to be a low 35, 36% from three. Enough to where you really got to respect it. Like, think Shea. Just think Shea, especially for Harper. Shea is not going to go out there and go 7 and 9 from three, and that's what you're worried about. But he hits it at a well enough clip that you can't, one, leave him, and two, after that, you have to respect the fact that he is going to actually take it, and when that happens, that's when he can get downhill. And Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox can get downhill with the best of them, along with Stephon Castle. If they have just shots that are respectable, just respectable enough to where you've got to give them true pressure beyond the arc, game-changing for the Spurs. Just truly game-changing. And they have a long runway to build around Wemby, but the 27-year-old now signed Fox a large extension. They might have some tough personnel decisions in the years to come if the trio struggles to space the floor. And that's, of course, because the goal... Everybody's expendable, not named Victor Wembanyama. The goal is to build a championship-level team around him. What we think we have right now is the makings of a championship-level and a championship-caliber team around him. We've got the secondary star in De'Aaron Fox. We've got the budding stars in Dylan Harper and in Stephon Castle. The versatility glue guy in Jeremy Sochan. We've got the specialist, the Julian Champagne, if he can stay consistent. We got the specialist in shooting there. We've got the defensive specialist, the 3-and-D perfect 2025 modern basketball player in Carter Bryant. We've got a nice ISO guy who can really take some pressure off of the ball in a second unit in Devin Vassell. And then right now, as of this moment, we've got Keldon Johnson, we've got Size and Luke Cornett and Kelly Olynyk. All we need is for these players to develop. If they all do it at once, the Spurs can go win a championship next year. If only half of them do, the Spurs are going to make noise. Regardless, the Spurs are going to be the most intriguing team next year to watch because they're a team that's going to have the most variance where they could be an under 500 team. I don't see it at all. But they could be an under 500 team because all of it just doesn't mesh together and they're not able to find their footing, and that's when we're going to have to make changes. Or they can be a 50-plus win team, which I likely more see because everything just comes together. They have the coaching, they have the personnel, they have the talent, and then they go out there and make it and they get it done. But let me know how you feel about the trio, Dylan Harper, Fox, and Castle. Do you guys want to wait for it and see? Do you guys want to trade it? Do you guys feel it needs to be traded? Do you think it's going to work long term? We've talked a lot about the short term and how we feel short term. In 3 years, do you guys think that those three guys will still be on this roster? Do you feel contractually it would work in 3 years? Do you think actually the basketball portion-wise it will? Let me know that in the comments. This has been Spurs Digest with your host, Keenan Warner. I appreciate all of you guys, and again, if you got to this point, just hit that free subscribe button down there so you don't miss all the great content we have coming for you day in and day out. Josh, Brian, other hosts on this channel, and myself, Keenan Warner. We appreciate all of you guys, and we'll be seeing you guys very soon.